Alright guys, so I haven't been doing a lot of gameplay videos recently, but whatever, it's fine. So, here's the idea. What if, instead of having Gamma semi-limited, having Gamma at 2, we had Gamma at 3. So, I know not all decks can run your boy, Sci-Frame Gear Gamma here, but hear me out. If Gamma were at 3, your opponents would actually have to think about using Max E instead of just activating Max E. And also, same with Ash Blossom. Your opponent can't just Ash Blossom the first thing they see. Like, you activate Small World, they can't just Ash Blossom it. It's not completely free. They have to consider the consequence of getting Gamma into Special Summon Driver and Gamma, and then into Omega, loop a card out of their hand, and then they just negated Air, and then went -1, instead of just being able to be a Brainlet and just activate Ash Blossom, like on the first thing they see, like, hey, my opponent activated Small World or 1-for-1 or whatever, and that looks good enough, I'll just Ash Blossom that, wait for them to pass, and then I'll just play my turn. But this is also semi-detrimental to you, to Gamma, because it reveals, like, well, that's not quite the right word. It's a bad play into Nibiru to an extent, so if we just go from strictly Gamma, Driver, Omega, that's 3 special summons. And that means you have 2 summons before you get nibbed. Some decks, though, have the ability to use the Driver to go into, like, a Baron, though, for example. By summoning, like, a level 4 Tuner alongside the Driver to go Baron, but that's really weird and jank. Kinda hard to do so at times, but whatever. And also, Gamma requires more brain power to play against. Just a bit more. To play around Gamma. And the hand trap's effective against Gamma, so. Called by the Grave, it doesn't do anything. Well, not unless like a Driver or Gamma is in the graveyard, which honestly doubt. And there is still the play where Gamma doesn't brick you, like we're talking Gamma specifically, like let's say you open like Droplet Gamma and you don't have enough to play out your turn, you can just pass after setting the Droplet, so your opponent activates a monster effect, you Gamma onto that, and then there's your fodder for the Forbidden Droplet. You just send the like Driver and Gamma to the graveyard for cost of Droplet, and you don't have to throw out the cards in your hand, and you can just wait for to get some more material in your hand, I guess. And your opponent will hopefully bleed some cards as well from this play. So I personally like Gamma plays. One of the plays I really enjoy though is like this one, where you go Small World and then we'll banish, let's say, Doom King for either the first card or second card. Banish it face down, doesn't matter. Then we can go ahead and Gamma return in this case we want to banish like a Doom King or a Banshee. Either one works, I guess. Well, depends on the exact context, but either way, unbanish Doom King, and then Doom King will special summon itself via its own effect, because this also happens in the standby. Right here? Yeah. Unbanish a card. Wait. No, that's the wrong one. It's here. Once returned during your opponent's standby phase, you enter your one banish card, return it to the graveyard. So, the way to play around Gamma, it's not like super hard. You just have to activate Brain Cells. Like, if you just do what's called waiting, then you can just simply wait till your opponent controls a monster. If you do that, then Gamma is not live unless, of course, your opponent summons Lambda. Lambda says you can activate the effective Sci-Frame Gear monsters in your hand even while you control a monster or monsters, whatever. But you would still technically need the spaces to summon Gamma. But either way, I think this would be more fun to play against than just... Oh, look, my opponent activated a card, guess I'll maxi, or oh look, Ash Blossom. It is interesting though how if you want to still get your negate off against your opponent, you can trade like an Ash Blossom on them or a Ghost Spell. So let's assume we have, I don't know, let's say we have a Dark Contract activated. Alright. Oh. Please? Oh, we'll say specifically we'll go with Gate, if I can find it. This is awkward. Gate. Oh, Gate's in the middle. So, let's say we activate Gate. That is add a DD monster from your deck to your hand. So our opponent chains Ash Blossom, so chain 1 Dark Contract with the Gate, chain 2 Ash Blossom, chain 3 Gamma, and then they chain Ghost Spell. They have that option, which is interesting. So they'll still get the negate of the Dark Contract, but it'll cost them 2 cards. And they will know we still have Gamma in hand, which they can theoretically maybe play against, you know, play through. They just don't commit super hard with their effects or something. Well, it depends on the exact situation, but I think Gamma's just way more fun to play with and against than like something like, for example, Infinite Impermanence, which is also like kind of in the same strand as, I'd say, like Gamma, Nibiru, and Imperm are all kind of in the same strand. Well, they can't. All 3 of them cannot be hit by a called by, for instance. And all of their effects kind of loosely relate to monsters. So Gamma, though, if it were a 3, maybe Society would be different, you know? Maybe Master Duel would be a bit different. Maybe it would be more fun, or maybe it wouldn't be. Couldn't confirm exactly, but... And I believe, like, TCG, it's at 3 and it's fine, so whatever. I don't know if it's... I think it's probably at 2 in the OCG if it's at 2 in Master Duel. Because I believe the Master Duel ban list follows OCG. But, like, since, like, fucking Maxi is at 3, why is Gamma at 2? Like, come on. This turn, each time your opponent special summons a monster, immediately draw 1 card? Like, come on, like... Let's say I have a full board, like, I don't know. Like, we have Dias, Siegfried, and we also have Wave Hiking Caesar, we have Baron de Flora on field, and then I activate Max freaking C. Well, I mean, Maxi isn't that good with DD going second because you're negating all the special summons with Wave Hiking Caesar, but you know what I mean. Like, if someone has a fully established board and Max sees you, knowing this card is at 3, and it's very likely, it's... I don't remember the odds of opening a card that's a 3 of. I think it was something like between 20-30% or something if you're playing 40 cards. Like, God, come on. Are you serious? Like, my opponent has Protoss or something, and like, Colossus, and then they activate Maxi on me. Like, come on. That's kind of like a sick joke, man. But like, if they had Gamma in hand as well, they actually cannot activate Gamma though after they establish their end board unless they include Lambda. But they don't just have to include Lambda. They also need 2 open zones, which is not nearly as brutal as getting max seed after your opponent sets up an end board. So I like the fact that Gamma is like semi-versatile and also very strong, but not like something you can just slap onto your like end board, like in the same way like Imperm, like going first or second, like I'll just activate Imperm, whatever, and then like if I'm going first, I'll just set Imperm for next turn, you know? Kind of in the same vein as like a Maxi going first or second. Side frame gear Gamma. I like it because, like, it just won't be a card in the same way. You can just slap it to your end board like Imperm, right? So it's less disgusting in that aspect, and I think that makes the game a little bit more fun in some ways. And being able to play around the Gamma is pretty cool too. I did make that one video where I did this pretty cool Gamma play where I made Lambda and then I used Zephyros to spin back the Gamma to my hand. So I actually played around Nibiru, I believe, that way. So I think the first card was something like a Small World into a Gamma or something. Not 100% sure. And then like Chain Ash, and then I Gamma that, and then I go ahead and set up my my Gamma again. So I actually used the same Gamma, and I put the driver in the graveyard for my next play so I could set up my board, which I think was pretty sick. I mean, my opponent didn't insta-scoop after that play, so I think they respected it anyways. So that's all I've got for you guys today, and maybe one of these days we could see a Gamma at 3. That or we can just play unlimited banlist, because then we have Hulk again. I mean, granted, you also have Graceful Charity and stuff, but, yeah. Maybe things could be better. So, maybe we're getting tier soon, maybe we're getting spread soon. Maybe Gamma 3 would be good then too. Not 100% sure, but anyways. See you guys.